afternoon, everyone who's here for the Educator Community presentation on PD. Roger, can you all hear me over there? Yeah, it's really disconcerting because I'm talking to a crowd where you can all hear me, but I can't hear myself hardly. Anyway, I'm going to take you through the Microsoft Educator Community today. It's a free professional development resource for you all. My name is Fergus Grant. I'm from Mercedes College in Adelaide. I've been teaching there for 16 years and I deal with digital learning. I'm one of two coordinators at the school and we found this really useful as a resource. So if I give you a bit of an introduction, my context is we're an R to 12 school. We do IB from reception up to diploma in year 12. We also do the CASE in South Australia. Apologies as well if you're following in Australian English. I'm going to hope that the subtitles can keep up with my Northern Irish accent. But our school is about 1,200 kids. There are about 200 staff, about 250 when you take in non-teaching staff also. And so we've got fairly significant professional learning needs, as you can imagine. The three things that I've sort of outlined there to think about when professional learning for any school is the time that's involved, because it's going to be a burden on the teachers for time. It's going to cost a lot of money usually as well if you've got to get a trainer or a provider to come out. And also, if you've got requirements for teaching registrations. So I know New South Wales is slightly different and you've got two ones to sort of satisfy. But the rest of Australia, you can pretty much, you've got to chalk up a certain amount of hours. In South Australia, it's 60 hours every 3 years, which is fairly easy to cover, but you've still got to register that and make sure that you're accountable for that. So, looking at that, we onboarded with Office 365 properly about, probably about 18 months ago. And we've been gradually trying to introduce it to our staff. We had a bit of a mix of Google and other platforms that we had been using, but Catholic Ed in South Australia had gone with Office 365 and we were happy to go with that. Microsoft have been very supportive of that. They've given us a lot of free training through Catholic Ed and also they've come out to the school and done that for us. So that kind of cut out the cost factor for us a little bit, but we're still reliant on releasing teachers out for professional learning if they were getting released from a class and so on. But one of the solutions we did hit upon was the educator community. And what I'm going to do today is take you through a bit of a demo on the website. Hopefully the screen's big enough you can sort of see there. It's weird seeing your own words appearing about 30 seconds after you say them up there. It's very strange. But we'll take you into the demo and hopefully this will open up the website. So it's education.microsoft.com. And if you want to try that, if you want to just type it into your favorite search engine and you can check it out, just type in Microsoft Education and you'll be there eventually. So this is the landing page here. Just double checking actually if it is the landing page. Yeah, it is. And it's asking me to sign in there. Now, you can browse the site. If you have an Office 365 account, you can log in and it will track all your trainings. It will let you come back where you left off. It will give you certificates, badges, and so on. If you just want to browse it, you can go through. You can look at most of the content there, but you won't be able to take the quizzes and you won't be able to sort of rack up your badges and points and things like that. So I'm going to sign in as I am already on here. Hopefully, if it works. And once you've signed in once with your Office 365 account, if it remembers you, it'll take you back into that. So now we're at the mercy of the internet. And hopefully that's remembering me. It is, okay. So you see the page. It might strike you a little bit. It's a bit busy. I believe they're doing some work on this over the next couple of months. They're going to really streamline and consolidate some of the stuff that's on here. But there's absolutely loads of things in here. So I'm going to try and give you a quick overview of some of the bits and pieces. If we have time at the end, we'll do some questions if we can. But I'll just start up at the top bar here, which is the easiest bit to look at. You see a few here. I'm going to come back to the training and resources bars in a moment. But up here on the right, it knows that I've been in here before. It's telling me hello, which is very nice. But if I just click on that once, it's got my profile with all my achievements, favorites, etc. And you can do that. So you can personalize it as you go. There's also a way that you can connect with other Microsoft educators on the site. So other people that are using this site, maybe have done the same courses as you can ask questions, comment on each other's as well. So it's quite social as well that way. Or not, depending on what way you want to do it. So I'm going over to the training bar here, and if I take you in and look at some of the courses that are available. So the professional learning thing, one of the things I talked about before was that it could be time consuming for teachers. So there are a range of different ones on here. You can do everything from quick videos, which are sort of anywhere between 2 and 4 minutes long on, it could be an aspect of education on a course or one of the Microsoft products in 365. There are more involved courses, which can range from about 1 hour to, I think there's one that I did was 24 hours long. Now, obviously, it didn't sort of sit there for 24 hours, but the beauty of it was, whenever I had half an hour, I could dip into it, do a bit more, and then come back to it. There are also lots of resources available, so if you take one of those bigger courses, the 21st Century Learning one I'll show you in just a moment, it has a whole OneNote to go along with the course, so you've actually got course materials to refer to and look at and read and sort of take notes on as well as you do it. Some of the more simpler ones are could be 30 minutes worth where you sort of sit down, you read through, it'll give you a couple of little video clips, and again we'll look at one in a minute, and then you've got to answer some questions at the end. And depending on what course or what kind of thing it is that you're setting up to do, it'll ask you questions. Some of them will be very difficult, some of them will be very, very easy. And again, you decide what you want to do with that. So let's look down here just for a moment at courses. And what I'll do as well is, if you just look underneath some of those course titles, so you see that one has a little yellow one, a little yellow tag beside it. Now that's beginners, so it gives you kind of different levels. And again, if you're trying to encourage your staff to come on and look at this, especially if your staff is probably like our staff in the sense that you've got some people who, yep, do what do you want me to do, I'll go do it. You'll get other people going, too difficult, I don't want to do it. So you can point them in the direction of the easier stuff to start with. So intermediate or grain, you've got advanced ones down here. So there's a range. Just like kids, we need differentiation as well as adult learners, so hopefully that's going to take care of that for people. It does, and this works pretty well, it gives you a Netflix-style recommendation of, well, you've done this one, you might like this as well. And often if you're starting off a course, there's a whole series on, I know Minecraft's a big popular one. There's a Minecraft journey on there as well, and it's a series of lessons. I think there's about 10 different ones that follow on one after the other. And you get a badge and you get a certificate at the end of that too. So there's also, it doesn't just propagate the ones that you're popular with, it gives you certain learning paths as well, and if I hover over that you get information on it. Learning path is a collection of courses and resources designed to lead you to mastery on a topic. So it might be collaboration, it might be 21st century learning. It will group together a whole lot of different lessons and give you that learning path. And again, when we get to badges and certificates, there are certain learning paths you can get certificates for doing that as well in. So topics, you've got Office 365. It'll give you more popular ones as well. There's a lot of people doing OneNote and Sway at the minute, obviously, because that's popping up. STEM and Minecraft, there's a whole swathe of different lessons in this. And Skype in the classroom, all right? Pedagogy, it goes on. I'm not going to go into each different one of those. If I show you one of the more involved ones, and that was the 21st century learning one. And of course you can search by course as well. Hopefully this will pop up. There we go. So this is the 21st century learning design course. Now, I don't know about you, often when I do some of this online PD or I see videos about things, and again, nothing against them, it's always Americans. Always Americans, more and more Americans. Now, I'm not going to say that it's not mostly Americans, it's still pretty American heavy, but because it's a global community, you get people from Finland, from Ireland, go Ireland, and from Australia that have done lessons and have partook in that as well. So Microsoft does this, being a global company, it does it all over the world. So there are various different people that sort of take part in those as well. So this one here is the 21st century learning design. You get a OneNote notebook for this one. I'm going to see if that will open quickly for me. And this comes, because it's a fairly intensive course and it goes for quite a while, it has a whole set of course materials with it. So it's just opening up now. And you can sort of see the team profiles and so on. I like this one because it was, I think, 3 or 4 researchers from Dublin. So I was able to understand this one very, very easily. But again, it's not limited to this one different thing, but this will take you through different lessons of it, big ideas, and you can work through those. There are a series of videos as well. If I actually go back to the actual course itself, I might need to sign in again here. If I start the course, it's going to let me do it. So you get a video. I don't know, is this going to play if I play it through the headphones? possibly, yeah, it should do. So I won't do the whole thing, but I'll maybe give you a minute or two of that.
What learning environments are needed
I need to turn the volume up on this one, maybe.
Before you start the course, we thought it might be useful for
you guys hear that?
The team.
You can, okay.
We've been
Sorry,
using
I
the
can't hear from
21
this,
CLD framework for
you get the
quite a
idea,
number
you
of
get
years
talked
now,
through
with a
that.
range
And
of
I mean, that's fairly
educators.
intensive. That goes for about 17 minutes, that video. Now again, maybe not what you want to start off with, but this is one of the more intensive courses. If I pop back, and again, should be a quiz. You sort of see there's different modules down at the bottom. And at the end, there's a quiz based on what you have just been hearing and reading and so on. And based on your answers to that, and again, for a course like this, you need to know your stuff by the end of it. You either get that badge or that certificate for that course. So that was one of the more intensive ones, I guess. If I come back a little step and maybe go back to something a bit more simple. Oops, I've just closed out of that. Just bear with me one sec. Time for a sip of water. Not sure if you're catching that in stereo. No. And where was I going to go? My menu bar's disappeared. Hang on. If I click on this, this will hopefully come back. There it is now. All right, sorry. So again, if I go into, there's also webinars, if I dip into that one. And again, thankfully, because Microsoft is so well resourced, you often get webinars based on things up and coming. I think it's Oceans Month is coming up, so there'll be stuff that will be on there. Depending on your time zone and where you're able to join into things, you can join them live or you can watch them later as well. And by registering for some of them as well, you get course credit for that too. So it all sort of racks that all up. But you see there's different ones there. Another one, let's look at the quick tip videos. And say if you're starting off with OneNote or you're starting off with Office 365, for instance, you could search on one of these. There's an Office 365 one. Quick tip video. And if I dip into one of the popular ones here, this is Microsoft Teams Essentials. And again, just to go into this quickly for you. And that should give us a little video on that. And again, I'm not going to watch the whole thing, but I'll just get the length of that for you. So that's 4.5 minutes worth. And that'll just bring you through Microsoft Teams Essentials. Perfect for that teacher who you maybe want to introduce something to. And it's a really good way for them to dip their toe in the water as well. We're not expecting those teachers to sort of just give them this whole website. Maybe you'll give it to them bit by bit. The badges and points, I gotta keep my eye on things here as well, time-wise. Badges and points are also what sort of mount up as you're going, and they've kind of gamified it a little bit. Teachers like badges too, I'm sure students do as well, but we all like that. But I would take you in and show you those. So it's different. You get, for instance, joining the community, you get a badge and you get a certain amount of points for that. If you complete a profile and therefore you're engaging more with the community, you get points for that. The programs I'm going to talk about in a minute as well, where by joining in with the program and engaging with some of the PD, you get as a certified MIE, so you become a Microsoft Innovative Educator. And if you want as well, you can take that a bit further later on. And you can apply for the Microsoft Innovative Expert program, and that runs, the applications for this year are going to be closing on the 14th of July. Now, I applied and joined that last year. I'm really, really glad I did. It gives you access to a really good network. We get to sort of work with a lot of these guys that work in South Australia in my case, but they're all across Australia, so you get to participate in a call each month. They do a Teams call. We all join in. We sort of find out what's coming up next. Occasionally you get to beta test some of the new products. For 2 days at the start of this week, on Tuesday and Wednesday, we had the Experts Forum in the ICC, and you're face-to-face with Anthony Salcedo. We got to give him some feedback about some stuff we thought was really good, some stuff that needed improved. So it's a really good as well. If you're particularly into trying to improve outcomes at your school through the use of this stuff, it's a really, really worthwhile thing to do as well. So a little plug for that. But as I say, all of those courses and badges give you points and so on. This is where I'm going to come back to that kind of accountability and the accreditation that you often need to show for your teaching registration boards. Anybody from South Australia here? There's a couple of people. Anybody from Western Australia? Yeah, okay, you kind of get it. You have different sort of, I'm not completely across all, I have checked with these guys. The only ones that are slightly different are New South Wales. And I believe that you have some teacher points, and then you have a different set of points. These count towards your teacher points, and I think you need to have 50 hours every 3 years, is that right? In the right ballgame? I'm getting some nods, thank you. But if I go down to achievements in this, and on my own profile, and I've been doing this for a fair while now. I haven't done a whole lot this year. I sort of went through it, and I went, well, I have done some courses this year, but I did a lot last year when I was building up to this. If it's going to load. Please load. I think it is loading, but slowly. So that'll take me into my profile. I'm crazy for badges. I love badges and certificates and things like that. I'm very, very sad. But what it does, and more importantly, for your teacher registration board, at the end, you'll get this training transcript. And if I click on that, that'll print a PDF, and your teacher registration board will recognize those hours. So that's just going to come up with all the stuff that I've done. So it's, what I've done, when I've done it, and they've got the achievements listed there as well. So I've been busy over the last couple of years. If you have an accredited trainer that comes out to your school, so we have the wonderful Troy Waller, I can't say him around at the moment, but Troy comes out and works a lot with us through Catholic Education in South Australia. I know DEC schools are going to be getting a lot more concentration over the next couple of years as well for training, so you'll probably be dealing a lot with Troy. You have your own reps for your own states, and if they come out and they do training with your staff, you get a code to input into this, and then it's more hours that you can register on this. So even if you move schools, this comes with you. Your educator profile can move around according to your Microsoft ID. All right, so what else did I want to talk about? I think that was it for pretty much the demonstration. Yeah, it was the teacher identified PD in New South Wales, so that's what that counts for as well. The links, again, I'm just going to go back over that again because I think I'm nearly out of time. I've got a couple of minutes maybe for questions at the end. But the dates I was going to try and push by you again is if you're interested in applying for the Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert Program, that's going to be due on the 14th of July, and you'll be told whether you get that or not by the 14th of August, I believe it is. Also, Anthony Salcedo, I don't know if you heard him yesterday, the Experts Forum is actually going to be in Sydney next year, so if you're a local to Sydney, you don't have too far to go. If you applied for it this year, it was in Paris, so I'm pretty sure, Parisians will probably be happy that it's going to be in Sydney next year. I'm not sure if Sydney-siders would be so happy that, you get the idea. But again, it's a great opportunity to interface with other experts from around the world as well. And there's the website as well, so education.microsoft.com, that'll take you to the community. As I was preparing this, I have been told in about 2 months' time, it's due for a bit of a revamp, but it won't, the kind of idea of the whole thing won't change, just the layout will be a bit more consolidated and easy to use. So I'm pretty much done. I'm going to say thank you and good luck. I hope you use it and I hope you engage with it because it's a great free resource. If anybody has any questions, I guess I'll be happy to take those maybe at the end, but thank you very much for listening. Thanks for that.